Yo, yo,
Ah,
yo. It is Reverse Polarity, episode 46. It's me, your boy, High Five Vega, joined as always by the man who never sleeps,
I really want to though.
the conqueror of salads, the guy who has a closet full of t shirts. What's up, Dean?
Rocco's Modern Life today,
I knew
baby.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a classic.
Oh, it's the
Oh,
best.
we have a guest this time.
No, we do. Where?
Yeah. Well, he looked like a potato before we started, but he fixed his camera. He 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 got the Geek Squad on the line. So our dude Chris is here. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
You know, for years, or whatever. Your little picture of the Wild Wild West scene that you have as your little Facebook icon. I had no idea what the hell I was looking at. Because they're just these little small things. I'm like, and Fernando's like, yeah, it's the Chris guy, and I'm like, who? The little picture, Wild Wild West picture. I'm like, what? Because yeah, it's like him and his wife, and they're like dressed up as cowboys and shit. And I'm like, who are we
Gangsters.
talking
gangsters.
about?
They're gangsters.
Whatever. I didn't know. I'm just like, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna meet him in Orlando, and I was like, we are? Okay.
I hope he's wearing the gear so I recognize him.
I was gonna say, yeah. Although your wife that was with you wasn't as attractive as your wife, so I don't know what the hell happened there.
Oh no. Oh no.
We had a dude with him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. That was the
Yeah,
work
that's-
wife. That was the work wife.
That's the work wife, yes. Which
Yeah.
we're kind of having a little spat right now. So
Oh,
Your work
excellent.
wife and your wife?
no, my
Who's-
work wife with me.
Oh, that's normal.
Yeah, that's normal.
Man up.
Wait a
bitch.
minute. There is a new Rocco's Modern Life movie.
Really?
Hmm.
I will
sounds
have
like-
to check that out.
That's some side jag material. I have not seen that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, so side jagging real quick. I'm sure we all saw Rocco's Modern World and all those cartoons of that era.
Yeah.
Which I think that was the last era of cartoons before things went really weird. Like these were
yeah.
kind of weird cartoons. Like
Yeah.
it was like we're gonna experiment, and then they just went. They like after these they took a left and went to like the shit where you're just going. Pardon me, you did that. You hiccup. You're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore.
Well, this was during the same area as Ren and Stimpy, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
Ren
see-
and Stimpy
yeah.
was weird.
Like for
Well,
a
Ren and
kids
Stimpy
show,
was kind of Ren and Stimpy was before Rocco's Modern World. It was
Right,
way
yeah.
before Rocco's
and-
Modern World.
and Ren and Stimpy, like he
Ren and Stimpy
definitely
was the
kids
was the
shouldn't have
odd couple.
definitely. I shouldn't have been watching. Shouldn't have been watching
No.
either.
No, that was not made for child consumption because I mean it was the
was
odd
great.
couple,
Yeah,
but the odd couple that we know what they're doing.
right.
That was like the pre-Adult Swim cartoon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't whiz on the electric fence. You guys remember that?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, enough
right.
with the cartoons.
Car audio.
Yes, we have
What's
a
up?
guest. Let's talk about car audio for once.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a
Hey,
serious show.
this is a very serious show, man. We talked about car audio all week last week. I hope that everyone marked it in their calendars, made it down. We're here talking car audio again.
COVID Chris.
That name is never gonna elude me now.
Did you have
Yeah.
COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Was it bad or just like the
There was like 2 or 3 days where I was bugging. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna die. But other than
Wow.
that, it was just like a
Other than
Like a
almost dying.
yeah.
yeah. There was 2 or 3 days where I felt helpless. Like
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That sucks.
That's
you know,
intense.
I don't know if you've ever been that sick, but just
No.
to the point where you're like, you feel like there's nothing that can help you right now.
I've been in that much pain.
yeah.
I've never been that sick.
Well, I cut off one of my fingers with a bandsaw, so I know the pain.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I'd rather
nothing,
go.
man.
I think I'd rather go through that again than COVID.
Okay. I'm just gonna say you win because there's no winners in this. But this finger, if you'll notice, is kind of weird shape. So that was a table saw. This finger was a table saw and a roundover bit. So you
Nice.
still win because I still have these, but
Oh no, I still got it.
whatever.
can't-
You're winning.
Most of it.
I can't straighten it out. That's
mine,
the
mine goes straight. Mine goes straight. Well,
yeah.
But
Oh, see, my finger injury is not car audio related. I rolled it in a dough roller when I was in high school working at a pizza shop. That's pretty sweet.
That's a big guy problem.
Yeah.
that's a big guy problem right there, man.
Same with getting under a dash doing a remote start. Big guy
Oh
problem.
no, that's a little guy. Come over here and help me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a greenhorn. We got a greenhorn. Skinny guy. That's the guy that we're getting to do the backup cameras and remote starts. That's all he does.
I had a guy that worked for me once. He was 6'3", 360 pounds. And they go, how does he work on the car? I go, he sits down on the ground and pulls the car up next to him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I did see these. I don't know if you guys watch any like Motor Trend type stuff, but Power Nation have their own YouTube channel.
Nice.
And they grab these. They're like these jack dollies.
Yes.
That you can jack the car up onto, and like they were tearing out the interior, so it was like on their level. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of scary wheelie stuff that you can. Like, I like the ones where you just put them around the wheels and you kind of jack them up and it pulls the wheels together, and then they're on rollers and you can spin the car around and do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, we thought about that once, and I'm like, it's just gonna hit the wall.
Exactly. Like you bang it into a cabinet, and they'll be like, "How did you dent this right here?"
Yeah. It's just, I'm like, no, we'll just pull it in and just deal with it, the way it is. Because what'll happen is we'll be trying to get around it, we'll bump the car, and it'll slide too far, and it'll smack it. It's like, no.
Yeah. We got the room for it in our bay. We have the room for it, but Best Buy is not gonna. Best Buy is not gonna.
We got room for it, my
bay. You're gonna have to buy them yourself and bring them in. Huh?
Exactly. That's what's gonna happen. No.
Well, I mean, as far as bay go and buying your own stuff, I mean, everything in the install bay, with the exception of the panel saw and the air compressor, is mine.
Yeah.
So even Fernando's tools technically are his, but the Smash Force Productions has paid for them over the years. So, he can leave with them if he's I'm taking my shit and going. Well, that's all his, but they were all paid for by the company.
It's it's like being a mechanic, sort of.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah, but Paul doesn't pay for any of that. Paul pays for no 5-star car stereo store, doesn't pay for any of the tools in the install bay. So there's certain things I'll make him pay for, like the LED lights and the ceiling. I'm not paying for those because that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like compressor hoses, I'm not going to pay for those because that's just stupid. Bins on the wall that holds all the connectors, I'm not going to pay for those because those are his connectors. So, but if everything else, it's like, the wood to make the workbenches, yeah, sure, he can pay for those, but the cabinets on the wall, those are mine. Yeah.
Dean Lee's like, I'm taking everything.
We got a shop tool set that, is part of it. It belongs to the shop.
Yeah.
But all the cool stuff, the good drills, the shanks with the 8mm, 7mm long shank, all the cool tools are ours.
Well, they have. I mean, I feel like they have to be because
yeah,
you have to be able to go. I'm done here. For me, if I go, I'm done here. I'm renting a U-Haul, and it's going to take hours of just sliding shit out of the install bay, and it's going to look like the Grinch just stole Christmas. Yeah,
the bay's going to be empty.
Oh yeah, because like the vacuum system, all the routers, everything. We have 3 router stands; those are all mine.
It's going to look just like Mr. Smith's house after Mr. Brooks made a quick visit to it before Demi Moore showed up.
Yeah, wrong show, man. Wrong show.
Keep it for later.
Did you do a poll this week?
I've got a poll. Let me pull it up. I was waiting for you. So this one's a little different. Normally it's kind of eclectic, but I decided on this one. Let's just kind of see where everyone's at. So where do you buy car audio? A big box store, Best Buy, Walmart, a chain store, car audio chain store, Car Toys, Freeman, something like that. A local car audio shop, or an online retailer like Amazon, eBay, or a car audio focused online store like Crutchfield, Sonic Electronics, Down for Sound, etc.
Wow, that's a
big swing.
That is a big. Well, I mean, I that's the kind of numbers that make sense. I'm gonna blow my nose here.
Boost it in post.
Boost it in post. Yep, it's like Haley farts. I'm just surprised that online retailers that close.
To the car audio focused one.
Yeah, I mean those numbers look about right though. I mean local, online, and the car audio focused. I guess I need to start a car audio focused website to sell car audio from now on.
There you go.
Yeah.
What's surprising me is that the local car audio shops, I mean, there's zero for the chain stores. So
Well,
I'm guessing that those are all pretty much dead anyways by now, or
no, God knows. Some of those, dude, those are big money. Like big money. Car toys, and there's a couple of them, but they're demographically located. So it's like Tent World is another one that's huge. If you're not in their demographics, then you're not going to hit them. So
right.
But Car Toys is a monster, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they they make and break companies. So
Oh, wow.
The other guy that came with me to Knowledge Fest, though, the other guy you met, Roger, he worked at Car Toys for a while. He says they do everything, though. They do leather wrap seats, like the kits, the cat skin kits.
Oh yeah, when we were in when I went with Haley to Washington for the first trip to see Audio Control to film that first documentary, they took us to a because we didn't fly out till like 10:30 at night. So on the way to the airport, we stopped at one of those, and I was like, wow. I mean, they wash cars there, which I thought was hilarious because they had to reclaim their water.
Oh, nice. That's how we had to do it work. That's crazy.
I was like, you gotta what? And we gotta reclaim the what's that? These big plastic things that the cars pulled in on, and the sides went up, and they washed the car and reclaim it all. And
they do they detail it too, or is it just it's like
full
a
thing? Yeah.
I said we only have one car audio shop around here, but what's interesting is we have like 4x4 off-road shops. They also sell a lot of car audio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's like the main source. If someone's getting a radio put in, we have a spot called California Customs. I'm sure you guys might have them in your area too. But it's like Tent World. It's basically Tent World. So that is our car audio retailers. We do a shout out to some of you guys.
Thank you, sir.
STE.
Thank you.
So, anyways, we wanted to have you on the show, Chris, as we were talking about last week, the kind of differences between, because you were asking about when somebody shows up with their equipment versus what we want to put in there. So, I thought it'd be cool to have you on and just kind of compare and contrast some of the differences between an independent retailer versus chain store, which I thought would be kind of cool. Maybe not. I saw someone in the comments. This is a good question for both of us. Someone in the comments asked us, if you need something from Home Depot or Lowe's, what's the process that you guys have to go through in order to, let's say, buy, I don't know, screws or caulk or whatever it is where you got to go there and pick something up? How does that work out?
Well, for us, we just go and buy it, and then we charge the customer whatever the part costs. We charge them,
But I mean, how do you get the funds to pay for it?
We pay out of our own pocket.
So you got to pay out of your own pocket. Now, how do you get paid back?
Just bring the receipt to the store and they give you cash.
Really? That's it, huh? Yeah. No big deal.
No big deal on that part.
Well, there you go. That's pretty cool.
Like we could order stuff on Amazon. Like I order the zip ties that have the Christmas tree on it. Those are lifesavers. I order those from Amazon. The quarter 20 riff nuts. Mm-hmm. I order from Amazon, and I just print out the invoice and give it to the store, and they give me the cash.
Nice. Well, that works out. Yeah. I mean, for us, it's something very similar to that. I just have his credit card online on Amazon, so I just go through and buy whatever. We need these. Oh, look at that. It's like, oh, hey, we need. Yeah, all right. We just click, and then I'll get a phone call, or a text message. Hey, did you just charge $350 on Amazon? Well, yeah, I mean, you didn't, so it had to be me.
It's pretty seamless. That part is pretty seamless. Like if we have to order a dash kit or something that we don't have in stock or something, I'll order it from Amazon, and we'll give it to the customer at the Amazon price. We're not going to charge them our retail price for it. We'll charge them. We don't try to make a markup on it if we have to special order stuff.
I don't know why I'm surprised, but every time Dean says something that's the most Dean shit ever, like you having his card on file at Amazon, having Paul's card on file, I don't know why it surprised me. It should not surprise me.
But, I mean, didn't you ever see Fletch?
Yeah, I guess So
it's Underhill's credit card. You want the number? Dean versus Dean. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, appreciate it, TM. One more here. El Fuego. Speaking of Christmas, yeah, 12 days of streaming. Yeah, we'll do it. It'll be fun.
12 days.
Next question.
I wish I could do 12 days of streaming.
You done 30 days last year.
Well, yeah, but that was giveaways. Streaming is easy. That don't cost you nothing.
I know.
12 days of streaming, it's like, what are we going to do? We're going to talk.
Okay. You run out of conversations pretty quickly.
No, you don't.
Dude, I hate.
Well, it depends. If it's like people like me and you, Dean, we know the ins and outs. We can talk forever, you know.
Well, I mean, people ask that of Fernando and I all the time. It's like, like when we drove to Kicker, it was like, what'd you guys talk about? It's like, dude, you don't understand. Like we literally spend 6 days a week together, all day long. It's like we could talk about anything because anything is on the table. Anything is on the table. So finding another 17 hours worth of conversation, not real hard. I mean, we could go 4 hours on the fact that we just passed a weird car. Which reminds me, tonight on my way home, I drove a car drives past me. It's a BMW. It's a 740i. The guy had converted it into a pickup truck.
Oh, nice.
That's crazy.
And where it got even cooler is he had a roll bar, the roll bar up, F-150 1970s style.
Yeah, like some KC lights on it?
Yeah, he had no KC lights, but he had that roll bar. I was like, and it was all hand built. And I was like, I had to speed up and go. It was like, that's a 740? That was pretty cool. I was like, wow.
I like taking pictures of like messed up cars where you see the backup cameras hanging off the back and
oh yeah, 12-volt install fails. Facebook page.
The dash cam wires hanging through the front of the windshield and all that. I find that hilarious.
That's called our road trips.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
No, that was our camera on the road trip. So when we go,
yes,
we literally. JVC, last year we do stuff with JVC Kenwood. So they sent me some cameras and we gave a bunch of them away, and the JVC cameras never shipped. And so then they just showed up one day, and I'm like, oh, we need to do something with these. And it was like, all right, we'll figure it out later. And then I went on vacation, and I was like, well, I need a dash cam for vacation so we could get the footage for the boring life. And so we actually filmed the installation of the camera at 3 o'clock in the morning before we left for the trip. I just, I unboxed it, we put it on the window, and, so we just kind of made a video of it. But when we went to Oklahoma, we took the same camera and stuck it on the windshield, and then we tucked it up in the headliner and, draped it back and plugged it into the only functioning cigarette lighter in the car, which was in the back. But every time the base would hit and the headliner would do this, the freaking camera wire would fall down. I was like, all right, this is getting really old.
Yeah, my dash cam, I have the Kenwood, the one that plugs into the head unit. I forgot the model.
Yep.
The dash cam and the headliner, I didn't put any like kind of tape or that quiet tape, and it's just rattling in my headliner with the base. Oh my god, bro. It's so bad.
Yeah. Use 1/8 inch split loom. That's the magic stuff. Anytime you do a dash cam or you do a USB mic or hands-free mic, 1/8 inch split loom. That way you don't have to ever worry about it falling out because it's big. And then when it runs through the dash, from here to here, you don't have a 16th inch thin ass wire that some idiot's going to come through there and go, oh, that's work. Or it just rubs on something and cuts. Yeah. So we passed that law, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. I'm like, every camera from now on, 1/8 inch split loom.
Do you guys write it down in a book? Is there a book? Is it just all committed to memory?
It's just committed to memory. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like you do it once, and I go, nope, from now on we're doing it like this.
Like your fiberglass rod. Oh my god, man.
Well, that was a $400 mistake.
Man, I'll tell you what, that fiberglass rod to go through the grommet is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable.
That was a $400 mistake on my part. And it was through like one of the biggest goddamn grommets in the world, and I still managed to poke a wire. I'm like,
a Ford?
No, it was a Chevy. Spark or Volt? Oh, Spark. Had to be a Spark because it was a gas. Yeah, so I think that's a Spark, and it sparked the fuck out, and I'm like, son of a bitch. You know,
or using the metal tool.
No, I had before I had the fiberglass, I had a metal version of it. I had a copper version of it, and like fucking genius that I am. Excuse me. And so immediately that one went in the fucking trash can, and I'm like, oh, there's got to be a better way. So went on to Amazon and found some fiberglass rods because like a tent stake or a tent pole or some shit like that. I was like, there's got to be something I can buy, and I found those, and I was like, oh, okay, that works. And then for the most part, I mean, what we've also found out is that a lot of the cars we get already have like grommets missing and holes and all this other shit. So it just got to the point where it was like, you know what? We're drilling a hole. And Fran be like, why? I said, because all this other bullshit that's going on, I don't want to be associated to it. So unless there's a hole that's big and we can put our grommet into it, we're just staying away from all this crap because that's just nightmare. You know, because there's been a couple times people, I was like, ours is right there. See that one? The nice one? That's us. This stuff, I don't know who the fuck that is that did that shit.
Go find who did that.
Yeah, like that was there before you brought it to us. You might have popped the hood and seen that. All of a sudden, you become Mr. I see everything. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I did. I figured I have a few questions.
Perfect.
Just to get it going. So
yeah.
What is your least favorite part of installing and your favorite part of installing?
Go ahead. You can go first. You're the guest.
My least favorite part of installing is installing garbage. That's my least favorite. People bring whatever you want to call it, and then they're expecting the world, and they get nothing. Yeah. Like we had one story just in specific. A guy had a BMW, like a 7 Series, like the big BMW, and the back seats don't come down on that. They don't fold down. It's a metal box. The trunk is
with a gas tank behind it.
Yes, the guy brings a JBL bass module to put in the trunk of that. We're like, dude, you're not gonna hear that in the car, even full tilt. You're not gonna hear it. You're not gonna hear it. Oh, I had it in my old car, and it was shaking the windows, and and I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, you're not gonna. So we went. He insisted. We did the install, and guess what? You couldn't hear the thing in the car.
He said it's fine. He paid the yearly fee, and he'll just have you install something else.
He'll have us install something else. Yes, I mean, we gave him we set him up with a system. Both parts from us and parts outside, because sometimes we don't have the right stuff, and I don't want to install something that's not the right equipment. So we gave him a package. We told him this is what you're gonna need. The guy's never shown up. So, and then my favorite part. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I was gonna say, as far as cars like that go, my like when I talk to people and they want to do something stupid like that, I tell you what. How about if we lock somebody in the trunk and let them beat in the car, and if you can hear them where you're sitting, we'll do it. But my guess is you're not going to be able to. I'm like, is one of your kids here? We'll just lock them in there and let them start, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, and then I don't know why that's always worked. All right, so go on.
My favorite part is when the customer buys the right stuff, what we recommend. And they sit in the car and they're ecstatic, that smile, that wow, like I can't believe this is my car. That's the best part, hands down, every time.
The pat on the back.
Yeah.
I mean, that's our carrot. I mean, that's the reality. Is that's our carrot. We hate nothing more than do a fool's errand that we know is just gonna be like, this is gonna suck. We still got to go through all the same motions, whether we were doing the right thing. But we're doing the wrong thing. We know it's going to suck. And we're just like, and then you have that conversation that is coming at the end of it where it's going to be like, man, this sucks. And we go, 2 hours ago? 2 hours ago, man. This is going to suck. No, it's not. I had it in my last car. No, this isn't your last car. It's going to suck. Oh, no, it's going to be great. Go ahead and do it. Are you sure? Because it's going to suck. Fast forward to now. Hey, this sucks. I know. We told you 2 hours ago. Have a nice day.
Yeah. I mean, that's all you could do at that point. You got to tell him bye, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and then I asked him, so when he told us that he had it in his old car, this was after the install. It was a hatchback. I'm like, of course. Of course it's a hatchback. Shocking.
It's a Civic.
All right, Deviant, this is a good one. This
you officially been pimped. I do the the little, shirt.
Officially been pimped. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Geek Squad shirts.
Yeah.
Straighten out.
Oh, man. So, Dean, did you have a different least favorite part?
You mean of like just the whole installation experience?
Yeah.
I hate it all.
Of course.
I just
Steve's
hate it
already
all.
at that point. I just hate it all.
I just hate it all.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if there's anything that like absolutely drives me up the wall. I mean, I agree with Chris on most of that. It's like when someone shows up with the wrong thing, it's like, all right, let's all just stop what we're doing. Like, because sometimes what'll happen for us is that like, it'll be one of those situations where like Paul helped the customer really didn't explain what he was doing. Paul walked out there for whatever reason, didn't accomplish anything, comes into the bay and there's all these parts just sitting there and I'm looking at it going, there's a car in the bay and there's parts on the counter and these two just don't go together. So then I got to walk over there and be like, all right, what the hell is this? What is going on? That's the part that I hate. I hate when the two meltings of the minds between the customer and the sales staff just don't like line up and they do this. And it's like, okay, guys, we need to rethink this and figure out what are we trying to do here. And now at this point, we also have to try to do it with whatever crazy budget they have already spent, because the last thing I like to do is come back and go, hey, you really need to spend about $1,000 more to get this to where you actually want it to be. But the two of you couldn't communicate out to each other what needed to happen. Nasty, dirty cars.
Yes. Oh God.
I didn't want to go down that road because I just
yes.
The thing is, like, nasty, dirty cars, I feel like that's just part of the job at this point. I mean, it's like we all hate them, but, at the end of the day, it's not like we're going to go, we're not going to work on your car because it's dirty. We're going to put on some... I mean, we don't, because, I mean, we could too, but it's not going to happen. We have gloves and we have trash bags and we literally just go into the car and we just put everything in a trash bag and then we put the trash bags in the back seat when we're done. It's like,
I have a death fear of bed bugs and roaches.
So does Fernando.
I'm
don't tell him when I see him.
I'm in full on freak out. Like, dude, if there's a bed bug, I've actually went to a place, I'm not going to mention any names, where they wanted me to help them with something. And turns out what they wanted me to help them with was bed bugs. I was mid going to sit down on their couch. Stopped mid sit down, stood up, and I was like, I can't help you with this, but I'm getting out of here right now. I got to think about what we're going to do, how we're going to attack this. I'm not sitting or touching anything in here.
It's bad. The roaches are bad.
How many cars have you worked on that have roaches? Oh, it's the number is staggering. Ants are really the worst. I think ants are probably the worst here in Florida.
Rats are the worst.
You get rats?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, we were pulling the radio.
One car. I had one van and one car with rats.
Jeez. We were pulling a radio out of a Ford truck.
Yeah.
And I'm looking there and I have the flashlight on to see what hack job had been done in there. And I see a little buddy just staring up at me and I'm like, oh man, come on. No.
Got fleas. No way, dude. No way.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
yeah.
Dude. I mean,
that's terrible, man.
All right, so what's the next one? What's the next question? I don't think I answered mine, but that's okay.
Well, see, I was going to give a comment because my least.
Yeah, go.
All right, I love it and I hate it. I hate doing clean wiring. I like looking at clean wiring.
I think everybody hates doing clean wiring. I don't think that's the fact that it's a thing now is just pissing everybody off. Oh no, trust me. I get more industry guys that go, God, why, man? Why? Why?
You should just drill holes and put them under a panel.
You could have done anything with the talent you had, and you picked this. You're a jerk. I hate
Like,
you.
why do I got to plan this out? And guess what? I cut it short, so now I get to cut a whole nother piece, or I cut the damn Tech Flex short, or
it's the worst.
and
And I'm
Tech
laughing the whole
Flex.
time I'm going. Like, I sit there, this is like a total first world installer problem. Oh, my wire is a 1/4 inch too short, and I got to cut another one.
Yeah.
Snip solder. Oh, that one's snip. I was doing 1 amp rack the other day. I can burn. A lot of people go, how long does it take you to do these things? Dude, I fly through these amp racks. I mean, it's not a big deal for me more. I mean, yes, it still takes time, but it's not.
But it'll take you a lot less time than me. You know,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, or Fernando. Sometimes when I let Fernando do them, I'm just like,
You're like, come on.
Like, I've done the rest of the car, man. We just need that one last piece. Come on, man. You can do it.
Sitting there reading a magazine, like, all right.
Yeah. Just let me know when you're done. But I don't know what it was. I was having one of those bad, like, vibing moments where it's like, I think I cut the power wire 4 times before I got it the way I wanted it. I was like, and I'm just sitting there looking at it going, no one gives a shit. Like, no one is going to notice if it's not at a perfect 90, dude. Let it go. I'm like, yeah, I'll notice.
And it bugs you.
Oh, it's pissing me off.
It'll drive you nuts. Like when I'm running RCS or something and it doesn't look down the factory wiring, it doesn't line up all the way. You got to kink somewhere. It's like, so you got to go and pull it and stretch it out so it's all nice and straight. You know, it's annoying.
There's so many things. Okay, so you like looking at clean wiring, but you hate clean wiring.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
me too.
Well, why should you have to plan this shit out? Why shouldn't I just be able to go in there and just put
Takes
it in?
me more time to talk about it. Like when I explain it in a video, like my thought process behind it.
Yeah,
I have to sit there and it's like I'm just gonna do it. But now, you know, a lot of times I'll kind of help people explain. I want them to understand why we're doing it the way we're doing it, so that it makes sense, and then I don't have to answer the questions after the fact of why did you do it that way. So I have to stop and think, okay, like, because in my mind it just needs to be this way, but now I have to explain why my mind thinks it has to be this way. So it'll actually take me time to be like, all right, so how do I say this so that it makes sense, that everyone will understand that this is why we're going to do it this way. And like, I think one of the things that has like made a lot of people, like when we explain it as quadrants, so it's like you have your power side that you worry about, you have your output side that you worry about, and you have your input side that you worry about, because there are 3 distinct portions of an amplifier, and making sure that the wire routing for all 3 of those is what makes the most sense. And so you have to plan out those 3 things. And, you know, that's one of those things that I was doing subconsciously just because I knew it had to be that way, but stopping to go, oh yeah, we're doing it. I just naturally do it like this. So now I have to explain why I naturally do it like this. And it took me some time to like, because people are asking, why do you do this first? Or why do you do that first? And it's like, because.
Right.
You know,
I know that same lesson from, you know, working somewhere for almost 20 years. And then recently, about 3 months ago, we had new guys come in. It's like, they're asking questions like they're supposed to. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, this is the way we do it, man. Shut up. Like,
shut up, motherfucker. Just do your job.
Yeah.
See me walking?
Like you're making my day longer.
Me. If I swag to the left, swag to the left, because someone's coming on the right.
It's like, listen, I'm working harder right now, and you're doing all the work. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like pre-wiring on the bench, like the new guy that we're training. Yeah. He's good. He's getting good. You know, he's learning and everything, but he still hadn't contemplated the idea of pre-wire it on the bench. You know, it makes your life easier. Once you pre-wire on the bench, you don't have to be hunched over in the back under the seat for 3 hours, you know, trying to get wires going, one from here, one from there. Pre-wired on the bench. Makes your life so much easier.
I will tell you my big guy story. So I'm walking around Knowledge Fest, Dallas, one time, and this guy comes up to me, big guy, big little guy, comes up to me and he goes, Dean, yeah, hey, what's up? You know, because, dude, I will always stop and say hi. I'll give you as much time as I have, you know, because you saw me at Orlando. I mean, that wasn't even that busy. You know, we're just constantly,
you
know, go. he's got to see me in action. He's like the one guy that's seen me in action.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm there, I'm gone.
Yeah. He was running around like the whole show. It was like, there goes Dean. And then, oh, there he is again.
So big guy calls me over, and I talk to him, and he's like, dude, man, I just want to thank you. You've saved my life. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, really? Come on. That's really reaching. He goes, no, you don't understand. He goes, dude, I have like, he starts telling me about all the back problems he's had and the surgeries and all this stuff, and how he was literally ready to call it quits on Car Stereo. And I was like, okay, so, and I'm like, whoa. And he's like, but I've never thought to wire amplifiers up on the bench or anything for that matter and just take it in the car when I'm done. And he goes, and then I saw your videos of you doing it. And he was like, I've been doing this for years the fucking hard way. Oh my God. He goes, because you sit in the car and you're like, you know, and it's like
plug in the wires and
and then you got trash all in the customer's car. There's just trash everywhere. And you know, your wires, it just does, it's a bad thing. And he was like, but I saw you wire it, and it was like, it clicked, and we started doing it, and he's like, oh, it's great now, so I can wire it all up on the bench. And I got my assistant that comes in, and we get it into the car, and then it's real easy for us to run it down the sides, and then I can sit in the front seat and hook everything up to the radio. He's like, it was insane. And I was like, cool, man, hey, glad I could help. Here's a lanyard. I gotta go. You know?
I was against the idea at first, because when I first started doing this professionally, I was like, this goes against everything that I've ever known. Like doing car audio on my own back in the day, you know, car wiring. I used to rewire cars all the time, and it went against everything. I'm like, why would you put everything on the bench? You know, how do you know where your power wire is going to come through and all that? And no. When they taught me there, they told me pre-wire on the bench. You're going to see how much easier it is. And man, it's completely different doing it like that than trying to figure out everything, trying to plug it in on the back of the car.
Well, for me, that all started, you know, I did fab work for years. I was the lead fab at AVE when I was there. And so the concept, because my installers still do this shit the hard way, but I'd be building my own cars off on the other, you know, I'd have to do all the build stuff. And I just didn't like them doing my installs. So I was like, I'm just going to do the shit myself. And they would always feel bad because they wanted to help. I'm like, I really don't want you to help because you suck. So that the back forward design was like, no, I got this. So when I build all the custom panels and everything, all the amplifiers and everything would already be attached to the panels. So as you were putting all the panels into the car, all the equipment would already be installed. So it's like, you know, it's like the amp rack would go in, well, the amp racks would be in, and you just drape the wires forward. So everything would just fit together like Legos. And when it went together, you know, when you snapped the last piece in, it was just a matter of like, okay, guys, you can run the wires forward now. I'm gonna go work on the next car. You know, it was super easy that way instead of having one of them hanging over the trunk, like, you know, and then scratch my vinyl or something. I'd be like, I got to pull this whole car apart because you fucking scratched my vinyl, you douchebag.
Yeah, I'd never seen anybody stall from the back frontwards until I started watching your videos. I'm like, dude, this makes so much sense to do it this way. Like, why? I don't know. Just when you do it yourself, I guess you think you just have to start from the battery.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would get out of the cars when I was young. I mean, when I was younger, we're talking like 20s. I'd get out of the cars and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to die. You know, because you just like had your elbow and your ribs and, you know, or you were leaning over the back of the car like this and you try to straighten up and you'd be like, I'm only 20. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah.
I got to find a better way. I'll never make it to 50.
That's me after a remote start when you're trying to get all the wires connected and everything. You're there for a little bit. You're there for, you know, a good 30, 40 minutes trying to get all the connections. And then when you get up, you're just like, oh, God. Oh.
Yeah. Jesus. See, that's the best part. No remote starts.
That's what I was going to ask you. You don't have to do a lot of remote start type stuff.
He don't do them. No.
Yeah, we're done. We tapped out.
Well, it's a lot easier now. We have T harnesses for almost everything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know, it's not that bad. I'm still scared of them though. I'm still scared of remote starts. there hasn't been one that I've done that it hasn't been screwed up, and my boy Roger has to fix it. So
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not that guy.
I always approach them the same way. It was like, there again, got to prep them on the bench, get all the wires. So how I would do them is I'd go into the car, I'd find all my tap points, I'd figure out where I was going to put the brain. I'd go over to the bench and I would prep my harness with all my wires that would kind of octopus out to where they needed to go, and have everything in bundles. So if there was like 3 wires here, those 3 wires would be off in that bundle. So that was, there again, you got to remember, this is like 90s till whenever. So T-harnesses weren't a thing. So, that was just how we learned to put alarms in, and we would try to hide them in the cars and do all that nonsense. And, I could care less. Like, beat him.
Go hit him. We don't care. Yeah.
Smack him down.
Yeah.
That's my nephew. He walked into the room. Come say hi. You're already here. Just say hi.
Hi.
What's up?
Hi.
Chris, good night.
Good night, buddy.
Family.
Yes.
All right. So what else you got for us? What's
So
the next one?
That's it. I didn't have any good ones. I just had a couple.
All right. Well,
You had some questions, Dean. You had some questions. I know you had some questions.
you think I'm that deep?
Yes.
No, honestly, I really didn't have any questions. I just more or less wanted to just see what I figured this would just unravel into whatever we wanted it to be, and then just have the two perspectives between the two guys. All right, let's talk about custom for a minute, because you guys don't do any custom.
No, that's not true. We do.
Well, there you go.
We do. It depends. Like that Civic job that I sent to Kip, and I posted on the Clean Wire Club.
Mm-hmm.
That job was all custom. It was a custom amp rack.
Yeah. I remember that one.
We wrapped the amp rack in that red leather imitation material and carbon fiber wrap on the amp cover board.
So how does that bill out for Best Buy?
Custom labor per hour.
Okay. So they don't have any like jigsaws, table saws, routers, stuff like that. What's their thought on that?
We're not supposed to have like routers and stuff like that in the store, but it depends. If the customer really wants something special, we'll go above and beyond to try to do something nice. It's not in the norm. It's definitely not something we do every day, but if the customer really is insistent and they really want something well done and nice, we'll do what we got to do to make something nice with the install.
That's cool. I still say no, but
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah.
No wood life.
What I wonder, like the Best Buy customer, what is this? Just someone that just wants a stereo? Are there enthusiasts that come in there often, or is it just like because I in my mind I always think like if you're going to Best Buy to get installed, you're probably just looking to get a deck and 4 or something like that. Maybe a sub.
we get a nice mix. We have some people that want something really nice. They'll spend what they got to spend to get a real nice system done.
What other retailers do you have in your area? Do you have any other retailers up that way?
In our area, there's a couple smaller shops, and then there's one like 30 minutes away that's a custom shop. We're always cleaning up their stuff, but that's a different conversation. We in our immediate
Not really.
Yeah, custom. In our area, really in Destin, the heart of Destin, we don't have anything close. Like the nearest Best Buys in either our directions, over an hour each way.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then the shops are all 30 to 40 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
So really, we got
you're
that
one
area.
of those good locations that Best Buy has.
Yeah. We stay about 3 weeks. Now we're getting a little bit better, booked out time, but we stay about 3 weeks booked out.
Because there's a Best Buy literally around the corner from our store, like just down the street and over. They buy dash kits from us. They were buying dash kits when they were open. But we also have 6 car stereo shops within 10-mile radius of us. So there's no shortage of other places to go.
Yeah, and as far as enthusiasts, Rob, we get the guys that think they know more than they know. That's what we get.
Well, that's it. That's enthusiasts in general. That's as speaking as an enthusiast.
You know,
that's enthusiasts in general.
They'll come in and they'll throw the right terminology in the wrong place. You know, it's like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, I think most car stereo guys started out as enthusiasts. I mean, and this is one of the things that I argue with when the battle between store owner and installer and trying to find new people and this whole influx of this argument that happens in the industry and I always go, dude, like, where did you start? You know, what was your backstory for car stereo? In which I'm going to ask you yours in a second, but I'm like, we all started as enthusiasts that got the stupid idea that we should do this for a living so you're over here telling this kid, like, it's like, yeah, he could be your next employee, dumbass. This kid could come work for you. I mean, dude, when you're making when it's cold out, you make a fire. Well, even if it's a small fire, you want to, throw more shit on it. So if you got somebody that walks in and he's somewhat interested, I mean, like Fernando's doing it because he needed a job, and he thought it was cool to do car stereo. He wasn't an enthusiast. He just thought this shit's neat. This is cool. I like music. I like speakers. He wanted to be a DJ. That was his thing. He'd been working for those guys. And he just had an interest in it. Well, okay, cool. I'll take that, and I can work with that. And now, he's Fernando, for God's sakes. I mean, But how did you fall into this, and then why Best Buy?
So I was a butcher for 18 years. I've said it a bunch of times. And I was working at Best Buy as a part-time
baker and a candlestick maker.
No.
Damn it.
So I was working at Best Buy. I had a part-time job, selling home theater. I thought I hadn't even crossed my mind. It was just part-time. I go in and help out after work sometimes. It was literally across the street from my old job. And things didn't work out with my old job, and I started
so where were you a butcher at? Private or
Whole Foods? Yeah.
Oh wow, that didn't work out.
Oh, a fancy.
Yeah, I was the manager. I was the manager of the meat department, and
How did that not work out?
Long story.
We got like 20 minutes. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so butcher at Whole Foods didn't work out. Manager.
I had an install scheduled. Obviously, I was working at Best Buy, and Roger, he's in the chat. He was gonna do an install on my car, and it was a big project. It was a 4-channel, speakers, components, radio. It was a bunch of stuff. So he was running late, and I had gotten off of work, and I'm like, hey, I'll go help you. He goes, you know how to do this stuff? And I go, I don't know how to do this stuff, but I've done a lot of wiring on cars. I rewired a whole RX-7 front to back, redid the looms, made connectors for the looms, for the harnesses. I've done wiring, that's what I can say I've done. And so I went and helped him, and he goes, hey, what do you think about working here in the Bay? And I was like, I don't know, I don't know. I'd rather not, because I was still working at Whole Foods. But as soon as what happened with Whole Foods happened, I went right into the Bay. Roger said, you're going to come work here in the Bay. And then I started learning from there. This was only 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, tops.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
But I'm that kind of guy that when I get into something, I get into something. So I didn't know what a DSP was. I didn't know what a Maestro harness was, or a Maestro, the brain, or pack modules. I didn't know none of this. I know the basic radio,
right?
The speaker outputs and the constant accessory ground. That's it. That's all I knew.
Right.
And 2.5, 3 years, and this is where I'm at now. But I get into something, and I read everything I can. I learn everything I can. I read manuals. I read the whole Audio Frog tuning guide. Like, I do I just get into it, and
time on his hands.
Yeah.
That's how it is when you get a job. Like when I have a job, I want to be like the best person at this job. Like if someone needs something, I want them to come to me to ask me how to do
Exactly.
it or how it should be done. So I totally get that.
Well, I mean, the one thing I will say about car audio is that it's mainly filled with Type A personality people. Most of the successful car stereo installers are people that have, that drive inside of them to do. They're self-motivated to be in this industry and be successful. You have to be self-motivated because no one is going to motivate you to do anything. You also have to be somebody that is never satisfied with yesterday. It's always, do
What's next? What's tomorrow?
What's next? What can I
Right.
do now? So there's a lot of, and it's also filled with a bunch of assholes too. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
happens when you have people like that, though. I mean, when you have a bunch of highly, Type A personality, highly motivated people, then you also get the downside of that, which is people that aren't always so pleasant to be around. Well, let me ask you this. So, all right, so you did that. You went to Orlando. You went to Knowledge Fest Orlando. That was your first one.
Yeah.
That was your first one. You were a virgin baby going to Knowledge Fest Orlando. What did you think? What is your honest? Chris Cook isn't watching this, so we don't have to worry about that. What did you think?
I mean, considering everything that was going on and and everything, I felt it was okay.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of things that I picked up that learned, but I wouldn't say there was much that I picked up. Like a lot of the information was things we normally do. Like things I've already learned, things I've come across, things I've already established. Now there were some classes that were real good that I picked up a lot. Like digital clipping was never a thought in my mind. Yeah,
it's a thing.
It's a thing. I did not know this. The first thing we told all the customers is to put their Bluetooth volume all the way up. When they're sitting in the car. So,
well, if you want to have a kicker, any key product fail, all the key products have digital input gains. Okay, most people don't realize that. So if you're trying to set up a key processor and it won't work and you've turned the gains up before, that's why it's not working. Like that's why on a key 400.2, they have you run the software before you set the gain, because it's a digital input, and if you clip the input while it's doing its setting, it won't set properly. So
gotcha.
all the key amplifiers use digital input. I'm sorry, all the key products use digital input. So if you clip that input, you're pretty much fucked.
So the Knowledge Fest was good. We met some people. I met you guys, which was probably the highlight. I've never been starstruck by any means, but when I met you guys, I was starstruck.
Fernando has that effect on people.
Yeah, but
not me.
But both because I see you guys.
Did you get Dean to take a picture of you and Fernando?
No.
Yeah, you should have done it. Missed opportunity.
Yeah. But I hold them in high regards. Like I used to work in Miami as a butcher, and I met all kinds of famous people in Miami, and I was like, oh, okay, Gloria Estefan, never been starstruck, and I saw Dean and Fernando when I walked into the show, and I'm like, that's them.
Yeah.
We have a good time with that.
Yeah.
So all right. So it was one of the smallest Knowledge Fests that has ever happened, obviously. And COVID really kind of, the show floor was definitely small. Dallas has always been like the crazy one. Well, so would you go back is the next question. Would you go to another one?
Yes.
So did you learn enough to where it's like, because I remember the first one we went to, and there again, I had a very, it is great for networking. I had a very similar thought. It was like a lot of the classes we went to, we just thought we needed to go to those classes. And the reality was no, we went to all the wrong classes. Like the classes we should have gone to weren't the Andy class, wasn't the Ken class, because most of that stuff we already knew. It was going to these other classes outside of our wheelhouse that we should have gone to, and going to manufacturers that we don't normally deal with. Kind of became like, it's like, I don't need to go to another Alpine training. I don't need to know to JVC training. However, I've never done anything with DD audio, so I need to go to their training. you know, because I don't know anything about those guys. So I can sit in that hour-long class and pick up everything I need to know about their story. So that I guess would be the one advice I would give to you if you go again to Orlando next year, is that look for the classes that you don't really think you need, because
Yeah,
those are the ones you're going to learn something from.
yeah. That's the ones. That's the classes we chose. When we went, we chose the ones that are out of our wheelhouse.
Okay.
Like the factory integration. You know, the factory integration was a good class.
That was Ken's class, right?
That was Ken's class, and then I think we did the one with both parts with Andy. That was real good. So, and I did a few product trainings too. Yeah, the one with Andy is good, but he keeps it entertaining. He did a good job.
Okay.
But the product
I usually
trainings
sit in the front row, so I try to stay awake.
Yeah, I always sit in the front row. I have to sit in the front row so I stay awake. You know.
Yeah.
Like in your class. Your class was great. Your class was great. I really.
You don't have to play to the audience. It's okay.
No. No. Your class was great. Like you're used to talking already in front of a camera and talking in front of people, so you were just fluent with your thought process.
Well, we also try to make it so people don't fall asleep. So
yeah.
Not everyone likes our approach, but I don't care.
Hey, for my first time there, I was impressed. You know, everybody did a good job. The product trainings, though, I'm gonna skip the product trainings next time because it's like I could read all this online. Yeah. You know,
well,
all the specs.
So to be fair with product training, that is the one thing that we're working with the manufacturers, at least the ones we deal with, to fix, because they all feel the same way. They're all like, you know, like in Dallas, we had the new audio control that is up. You can watch on audio control things, is demystifying the black box. We put that whole class together to try to make it talking about things that weren't the shit you could read in a manual, the stuff you wouldn't know. We had put together a half-hour course that we were going to do with Kenwood, called the Modern Deccan 4, the evolution of, something like the evolution of the front stage upgrade, which was a half-hour course that we put together. That was to take you outside of the standard. So we also have 3 in-dash Apple CarPlay Android Auto radios that have subwoofer volume control and 5 volts of output. If you turn to page 2, you'll notice at the bottom of the page, we also have a dash cam that will, we didn't want to do any of that shit. So, and even that, we were working with those companies to come up with classes that, because the problem is we want to take those classes and have them correlate to the floor so that we can talk about something in the class, or we can show you something in the class. And then if you go to the show floor, you can actually get a demo, you can get your hands on it, we can talk more about it, something that kind of connects the two together instead of just brochure talk, because I hate brochure talk. Yeah. And they hate it too, but they're having a hard time coming up with, what can we do to make these people sit in our classes and learn something neat. So we are working on something really cool for JVC next year, or JVC Kenwood next year, that ought to be fun. That's the other thing too. We want to do, because they look at it as like it's something they have to do, but it's like, okay, if we have to do it, we don't have to do this. We do whatever the fuck we want. So let's stop doing this and let's do something cool. And it's just like, all right, well, what do we do that's cool? And it's like, all right, well, here's some ideas. So we're, we wanted, like Morel, we were trying to get Morel to do a blind sound test between the Virtus Carbon Nanos and the regular Virtus. Because that's the biggest question everyone has. It's like, how in the hell does this little tiny thin speaker that's that thick sound compared to its normal speaker? And I was like, dude, this is an easy one. We can literally put slides up that show, you can talk briefly about the technology, have a screen up that no one can see, and just A/B between the two, and have people move throughout the room to listen to them. And everyone's going to be like, my turn, get the fuck out of my way, I want to hear these. Because it's like they're that incredible. And it's like, people, I'm like, dude, who's not going to come to listen to that? And then you have your car in the booth, and it's like, if you'd like to hear more, here's the booth. It's like, so trying to get these guys to do this is where we're at as far as our twisting of this goes. And the other thing that we're working on is the industry awards. So you'll notice they haven't said anything about the industry awards yet, which you can enter because you work at Best Buy. But we're in the process right now. We put a whole committee together. I should work for the MEA, for God's sakes. We put a whole they put a whole committee together, and we're redoing all the industry awards so that it's like transparent. The guy that ran them before is gone, thank God, douche. And so all of us have foregone any awards that we're gonna win, and have just focused on anyone else going forward. It's like, because our experience is pretty much all sucked, so it's like, all right, let's find a better way to do this. And so that's gonna, I think we're a couple days out before, or a couple weeks before we talk about that, it gets open to the public, because Jeff Smith and I have to do some videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. And then on the other side of the coin, I have Brian over here going, you know, we're doing this awesome fab thing with all these cool guys, and you know, so, which we're trying to figure out what we're going to be doing there. You know, and he's being awfully secretive about it. And it's like, okay.
Oh, they got your boy calling you COVID Chris now too. Does it last at work?
I can't believe
You can't be Rookie of the Year because he's already been in it too long.
Yeah. I don't think I classify as a rookie yet.
Well, see, the COVID year doesn't count. Like, you guys probably don't. I don't know if you watch college football, but you can technically be a super senior now. So,
well, I was out 6 months out of the time frame that I've been doing this. We were furloughed for 6 months, so I guess
there you go, rookie.
You know,
you have to be 2 years and under to win to qualify.
You're on the board, bro. We need an exemption.
We just extended it a year. Trust me, we just extended it a whole year. It used to be 1 year and done, and it was like we just extended it another year. And to be an installer of the year, you had to be 5 years and up. And so we finally bookended those two together, so that if you're out of rookie of the year, you can automatically go for a top 50. And it was like, no one even knew they weren't bookended. It was like, wait a minute. So you can literally become rookie of the year the first year in business, but then you can't run again for another 4 years? How fucking stupid is that?
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, I don't want to make it 3 years. And then someone's like, well, there's a year between. Why would we do that? I was like, good point. All right. Sorry, you win.
All right. We're at our hour. We're over our hour. What do you got to pimp?
Yeah,
anything?
Man, that's fast, man.
Tomorrow starts the installation of the MX5 that's going to stretch on for many episodes I can possibly milk out of it, and at the end we'll make a big compilation video. So this is a high res build. We're doing in an MX5.
Ooh,
is
it convertible?
It's a Miata, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
You know.
yeah. They don't make any
Miata. Nice.
Yeah, so they call it the MX5 now, but it's a freaking Miata. I mean,
yeah.
Well, you know that 40 kilohertz is really going to hit hard with the top down.
You gotta watch the video to kind of. So one of the things we don't talk about in the video is this guy's dying of stage 4 cancer.
Oh no!
So there's
now I feel bad about making
no. I mean, but there's a reason why we're building this particular system in this car, which we kind of cover in the beginning. We just don't mention the fact that he's dying of stage 4 cancer because that's like, not that important in the video. But he wants a specific thing, and so we were able to do it. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, so that starts tomorrow for us, and then we have all next week we'll be there, and then the week after we're in Arizona.
Oh yeah,
doing the
big
Golden
show.
Ticket Rockford Fosgate Willy Wonka experience.
That'll be fun.
Oh dude, they're gonna let us do whatever the fuck we want. Holy shit, guys! Like they said,
break everything.
Obviously, we're going along, and we need to wrap this up. But so they sent us a video that we can't share with anyone. It's top secret shit. And they're like, hey, we just want to share this with you because you guys have never been out here, and most people will never see this shit. So we have this video, and you guys want to watch it? And we're like, fuck yeah, we want to watch it because we don't know what we're stepping into. And so we watched, and we got to see all this. And we're of course going, oh shit, we need to do this. Oh shit, we need to do that. And we're like, fucking people don't even know this shit exists. Like, nobody has a fucking clue. What Rockford doesn't tell anybody anything. But I mean, I feel like Kicker was the same way. Before we did the documentary, there was like a handful of people that got to experience that shit. Now anyone can go on and do a tour of Rockford and get an idea of all the things they do there. And then Kip has taken that further. But nobody has a clue what Rockford does, and they're like, you guys can.
It's a black box, literally.
You guys are gonna get to do whatever you want. And we're like, we get 2.5 days to film out there. So I'm like, I want.
Have they seen what you do?
Everything.
Have they? Like, he breaks shit, right? Don't tell him he can do whatever he wants. There has to be some limit to what he can do.
We're doing a DSR1 in a couple days, so get me some info if you can.
I got 3 videos showing you how to do
Okay,
DSR1s.
I'll check it out.
Anything you need to know, if it's a brand that Dean deals with, just type in whatever it is, 5-star car stereo. That's how I do it.
We've got so many videos, independent videos, just standalone DSR videos. That was actually, it's funny too, because iData actually wanted us to do those videos, not Rockford. Rockford didn't know anything about it. iData reached out to us, and they were like, "Hey, will you please make these for us?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever, send me one." And they sent us one, and we're like, just went balls deep on it. And then at some point, like a year later, we did another one that kind of walked you through the flashing process, because that's stupid. But no, we have really thorough videos as far as how all that goes. I mean, a DSR1 is one of those products now that's just an aggravating DSP that you just kind of like, yeah, okay, fuck, yeah, let's do that. Yep, save. Do that, save. Yep. Oh no, I love them. I mean, I can literally bang through them. Like, we just did one Wednesday, and it was one of those things where it's like, and then I blew it up.
We're doing a 608 tomorrow, audio control, so that should be fun.
We got a couple videos on those.
Yeah,
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Chris, if someone wants to find you, where can they do that?
Best Buy in Destin. I mean, that's the.
What about online? We're online here. Unless you don't want them to find you on Facebook.
You don't have an Instagram page?
I do actually. It's Chris_Subohm Viera. Chris_Subohm_Viera. Just like my name.
It's right there.
I gotta update it. That's back in my vape days. I gotta change my.
You got to, man. That's how people find you.
Yeah.
You got to hashtag where you live, and you got to hashtag the equipment.
You're right. I gotta swap that over.
Branding, man. Branding. It's all about
branding. I mean, that's the class we teach. What about you? What do you got going on, Hi-Fi?
Yeah, hi-fivega.com. There's amp kits on there now. Check them out. And I'm gonna end on this shot right here. We're gonna go out on this shot.
That's a great shot. It almost looks like the beginning of the video.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah. The pre-show.
There we go. There we go. That's what we're ending on.